for anyone who's been lifting for quite a long time or going to the gym for a very long time, you're probably like me, and you have that feeling sometimes when it's been maybe a challenging week and you walk into the gym and things just feel a little bit easier, a little bit more spacey, and you can kind of relax, digest your thoughts, see what the next move is, and sometimes figure out whole issues just from being in the gym. For me, it's been quite a challenging week. Emotionally, it hasn't been too good, but I walked into the gym yesterday and suddenly I felt this kind of space. You know, it's not like the problems have gone away, but it's an emotional space, because you come in and you've just got sort of this to-do list if you track your workouts, and all you've got to do is get from A to B. And there's something so nice and basic and mechanically simple about just picking something up and putting it back down. And that's it. And for me, it sort of gives my brain space to figure out this puzzle that I'm trying to put together. And depending on how far I am with this puzzle, or if I know at least where the pieces are that go roughly together, sort of gives me that feeling of having control in my life, which is where a lot of my stabilization comes from in general. It's just that feel. It doesn't need to be much, but just the feeling of some sort of progression, some sort of purpose, and that gives me a lot of happiness. That's where a lot of, as I said, my stabilization comes from. And I haven't been feeling that too much lately. So I have a lot of stuff to work out and see where I'm going. But anyway, the gym, it sort of gave me this feeling of like having a bit more control back in my life. And today I came in feeling not so strong at all, mentally or physically, but it turned out to be quite a good session. And I think it's kind of that emotion that drove me to have a better session. Now, the squats themselves were not brilliant. Again, in form, we're still getting there. My body's still getting used to what I'm doing. I haven't squatted in so long, and as I said, there's so many auxiliary movements that I need to work on and strengthen up to make sure that form is spot on. What I am starting to realize, especially after today, is it is my core that's really, really lacking. I've never really trained my core, honestly. And we'll see when on a few of the reps, when I put some more weight on, is that the bar starts pushing me from behind and my core isn't strong enough to keep my body upright. And that knocks the entire rep sort of out of shape, and my body ends up just going into, not like emergency mode, but just using any means to get the weight up. Whereas if you have that stabilization from your core, your body should use the right muscles to get the weight up. Hence, you maintain your form, and the rep is much better, and you can progress more easily. Now, today when I came into the gym, it's, again, you probably know this feeling if you've been lifting for a long time, but on one side, you can feel so in control when you're having a good workout, but also on the other side, I feel my most vulnerable when I'm in the gym as well. It's this weird state of absolute loneliness, just doing your thing, but it kind of separates the puzzle pieces a little bit for you, and I feel like at any moment I could have my happiest peak of the day after having a good workout, or equally I could just break down in tears and let everything come out. And I don't know how it gets channeled into lifting weights, but I feel, super, super, not weird in the gym, but just like this kind of meditative sort of therapy-ish. I don't know. It's weird. So today I'm putting the 80 kilo on the bar now, and I was frustrated. As I said, like, it's not been a great week emotionally, and I'm quite upset doing these. And you just show up. I don't know. You just get on with it. Whatever. It's really no big deal. And then I wondered, like, how am I going to start progressing up this weight? Because I've been doing some reading over the week, watching some other YouTube channels on powerlifting, and quite a lot of them are sort of saying that when it comes to powerlifting and just specifically developing strength, especially as like an experienced lifter, someone who's lifted for a while, you're not going to get the benefits of someone who's just new in the gym as easily. And it's really all about adding weight to the bar instead of getting more reps out. Like, if you want to lift more weight, you just have to lift more weight. So this started kind of just annoyed me, and I just said, fuck it, listen, I'm putting 90 on the bar. I just want to see what it feels like. Because I wondered why don't I put 90 on the bar? You know, I have 80 on the bar. Why don't I want to go to 90? And what I told myself, I was like, oh, well, what if I fail at 90? I don't want to do that. You know, what if I hurt myself? And it sort of dawned on me, it wasn't the weight, it was the fear of failing that was stopping me going forward. And if I ever get to a point where I need to push any kind of boundaries or test what I'm capable of, and I'm too scared to go that last 10% just to find out. Because the thing is, I wasn't sure if I could lift the weight or if I was going to drop it. But the worry of dropping the weight stopped me even attempting the weight. And if I'm not able to push those boundaries, then progression's really going to be very slow. Now, on this one, I did 2 reps there. The first one actually was fine. The second one was definitely a grind, and the form was off. So I immediately took the weight off and went back to 80. But it was this point in the gym is when my mind started really, really going. I was like, I've just lifted 80 for 2. Sorry, 90 kilo for 2. So that's a 10 kilo add-on to the 80 kilo, which I was grinding out the last few weeks, which felt just as hard. And it was like, because I gave my body the opportunity to use more strength, it did use more strength, because I absolutely had to use it to get the bar up. And then when I went back to the 80 kilo, I said, well, listen, I must be able to do 5 reps of this shit. If I can do 90 kilo for 2, I can do 80 kilo for 5. Again, it's not heavy. And this time it did feel much lighter, unracking it off the bar. And it was just that kind of realization of relevance of, if I tell myself 80 is the max I can lift, and I cap myself and I get scared of pushing any further, then my body will adapt to that and just be like, oh, okay, well, 80 kilo is all you can lift. And if I push past the fear of failing and accept that it's completely okay to fail at everything you possibly do, whack 90 kilo on the bar, and now my body's like, it has to adapt, it has to get the weight up or fail. But as I was saying, like I wasn't even trying before, and it seems so obvious, but until you just suddenly like rediscover these simple lessons, sorry, as you're going through life, it's I don't know, and then after you feel kind of stupid, you're like, why didn't I do this the whole time? But I don't know, you have to learn them at some point. So yeah, I did 2 more sets of these 80 kilos, and then actually ended up getting upset again, because I was upset that I'd only sort of realized this concept now, or not a concept, but whatever, this idea that I've definitely known before. And like the idea of like, don't be afraid to fail, like everybody's told that all the time. Like how many times, just go through life fearless, you'll have a better time. But it's not always that easy, and it's not always that easy to stay that mindful all the time. So I got upset again, and I threw 90 back on the bar, and I literally told myself, I was like, you are lifting 3 reps. And if you fail, I knew, in my back of my head, I was like, no way I'm going to be able to get 3 reps. So the first rep goes up. I'm going in for the second rep. I know this was a grind. And I was thinking, there's no fucking way I'm getting this 3rd rep. But this was the point. I was like, are you afraid to fail, or are you going to give it a go? And I went down for the rep. It's the most disgusting thing you'll ever see in your life. Time is ticking. 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. You can see my form is just, it's that core. You can see the bar is trying to push me flat on my face, and the core is not working. But the weight got up. So, hey, that's 3 reps and 90 kilo. So I guess it was a good day.